Yo, brothers, welcome back to the tube. I'm pretty sure it's been almost 2 weeks since I last uploaded, which is not ideal. But I think I mentioned in the last video, I went to Cyprus for a week, and I said on the last video as well that I was going to still film whilst I was there. And honestly, I took my camera, I took the mics, took the tripod, and I just ended up filming nothing. I think the main reason was I went to a different gym that I'd not been to there before. It was pretty busy, and you know when you're like new to a gym, I was the only British person in there as well. I didn't just want to whip out a camera and start pissing people off. So anyway, had a week in Cyprus. Actually managed it very, very well, which is like the first time ever that I've managed a holiday well. So body weight this morning was exactly the same as what it was before I went away. So big dub, very, very happy with where I'm at. I am pretty knackered today, I can't lie. I got home yesterday morning at 8:30 in the morning. So basically I was up since midnight UK time. And I then flew home at, like I said, 5:45 a.m. So I didn't go to sleep till 9:30 last night because I just had so much stuff to do. So I was knackered yesterday. I still am a bit knackered today, but I've had a decent sleep. I slept from 9:30 until 6, so a decent sleep. Anyway, we have now got a week. I literally go to the airport a week today to go to Croatia on the Tuesday. So that will be a big, big holiday. That's like a full send with the boys. So that's going to be heavy. So we've got a week this week to really lock in, just hold the current look that I've got, and then it'll be time to take over some bloody beach clubs, which I am buzzing for. I can't lie, and I can't believe it's only a week away, because we booked it in January, and it's gone very, very quick. So very excited for that. But this week, we're going to try and do 2-3 YouTube videos. I may schedule one of them to upload like whilst I'm away in Croatia, but we'll see. Anyway, today it's obviously Monday. It's currently 7:30. I have been up, as I said, since just after 6ish. Usual meal one, pre-workout meal has gone in. We have got like back, delts and arms today. So I will take you through that session. I'll probably mic up. But as usual, I won't talk too much. I'll talk when I feel's needed. Conte Sports, Conviction going in. If you want to fucking sponsor me, that'd be great. Cheers. But yeah, I'm going to sit here now, drink that, wait for Crow to arrive, and then we'll then blah, 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 blah. That's how tired I am. And then we will get cracking into the session. QE. So guys, unfortunately, I made a bit of a mistake. Forgot to charge the mics. So unfortunately, we're not doing a mic'd up session. We're doing a voiceover once again. I promise for next week or next video, I will ensure that I do a mic'd up session because I actually think voiceovers are a little bit boring. Anyway, let's get into this awesome session. So starting off, I haven't recorded this, but we did 3 sets of abs. Very simple on the ab crunch. I've spoke about this in loads of other videos. So go back and watch another video if you want to learn more about that. Moving into the first exercise that I actually recorded, which is the lateral raise machine. Again, you'll have seen in many videos me using this. I really enjoy it, really get along with it. The connection's really, really good. And I've got a good balance at the minute between like trying to really force load progressions and get stronger, but then also with some other movements and other sets, just making sure I'm driving a lot of blood flow in there and getting a really good connection. So the balance of trying to force load progressions, but also getting plenty of blood in there, getting a good pump. Hopefully, it's going to work to grow me some side delt. So 3 sets there with a rest pause as well on the last set. So I literally just fail, take 10 seconds rest, and then go again. I end up getting like an extra 3 or 4 reps, but obviously those reps are effective reps. So all tickety-boo there. Moving into the first back movement, we've got a chest-supported T-bar row. So this is obviously much more of an upper back bias movement. So there's 2 main things I'm focusing on here. Is number 1, obviously I've got the handles set up, so I'm just sort of wider than shoulder width. That way my elbows are going to be a little bit more flared.
and the alignment to my upper back is going to be a lot better. And then the second thing is just trying to move my scapula as much as possible, but also not overdoing it. I think, yes, you want to be reaching over the pad and letting your chest wrap around the pad, but I think you can take it too far and you end up losing a little bit of power and actual stimulus through the upper back if you are stretching or almost overstretching in that length and range. So get a full stretch, but don't overdo it. And then obviously actually initiate the movement, pull through your elbows, and just think about retracting your scapula as much as possible. A nice big squeeze, and just rinse and repeat that process. Again, breathing on here, so important. Make sure you're bracing properly, otherwise you're going to die out very, very quickly. Moving into the second back movement, we've got a single arm pull down on this machine. I think I've shown this before on the tube, but I'm not sure. But again, you can see the difference here. We're biasing the lats instead of the upper back, which we just did on the T-bar. So you can see I'm leant over to the working side, doing this unilaterally as well, just to align better. Leaning over into that working side, again, just so I can align as best as possible. And all I'm thinking about is keeping that elbow in front of me, especially in the eccentric, almost pushing that elbow away from me. And then as I pull down, I'm dragging with the elbow, and I'm just dragging it down to my pocket and just making sure I'm really crunching in on that lat as much as possible. And if you're doing that, it's pretty hard to get this wrong. I think there's a lot of cues and tips out there, but as long as you're aligning properly and dragging your elbows down towards your pockets and keeping that elbow pushed away, like down and in front of you through that eccentric, you're going to get a lot of lat stimulus. So we had 2 sets there and also a rest pause on the second set. We then moved into the arm movements of the session. So what the hell did I even just say? First up, we have got a EZ bar preacher curl. So I was actually using a machine for this and doing it single arm, but it was just taking too long. And the sets were not the greatest quality just because of how long it was actually taking me. So I swapped it out just for an EZ bar. And honestly, this felt a lot better because I can do it bilaterally, so both arms at the same time. So it's quicker. And also it didn't feel as like rough on my like elbow joint as well. So very, very good. Again, volume here is a little bit higher, so 3 sets. And I do think with the preacher, the main thing you need to focus on is just really controlling that length and range. You don't want to tear your bicep. So control that range and then a big contraction at the top as well. Pretty basic movement, but it does absolute bits for your biceps. Moving into the tricep movement, we've got a cable overhead extension. Again, been a staple in my programming for ages now. One thing I really like to think about here is when I'm going down into that eccentric, almost really forcing my elbows back, and that just seems to create a really, really good stretch on my triceps. Again, when I get into that stretch position, I'm just making sure I'm controlling it, a good pause, and then I'm actually thinking about driving up through my pinkies and almost twisting my hands out at the top, and that seems to give me a really good contraction. So again, this is a massive staple for me, doing a lot of overhead movement at the minute. Just overhead movement? What the hell is wrong with me? Overhead movements at the minute, just to bias that long head of the tricep as much as possible and get some freaking dense arms. We then moved into some rear delts, so just a rear delt pec deck, a reverse pec deck, whatever you want to call it. Again, 3 sets, volume slightly higher here. Not a taxing movement at all, so you can get away with doing a few more sets. And again, I'm doing this like 2-3 times a week at the minute because it just feels really, really good. I think most people get this wrong by actually having too much range of motion and driving their arms right back. But if you actually do that with no weight, you end up just retracting your scapula anyway. So you're going to place tension through like sort of your rhomboids and your upper back rather than your rear delts, which is obviously not what we want. So actually look to shorten your range of motion here and almost just pinch through those rear delts. And this is absolutely spot on. I then also finished with 2 sets of a cable front raise, but I actually forgot to film that. So that's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. 2 sets there. Just get a freaking nasty pump in the front delts. And that is the session done. And that is also going to be the end of the video, guys. So if you like this video, please obviously like it, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you in the video later this week.